Hardik Abhinandan and Suswagatam to this special online program of book release and panel discussion that is being organized by Waves India and Waves International. For the auspicious start of the program to recite the Ved mantras, I would like to invite Dr. Raghav Boduballi ji. He is a well-known Vedic researcher, a botanist, and one of the contributors of this book. I welcome you, Dr. Raghav ji.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananantva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunvannutibhis Sida Sadanam Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajinivati Dheenamavitriyavatu Ano Divo Bruhatah Parvatada Saraswati Yajata Gantu Yajñam Havam Devi Jujushana Ghritachi Shagmanno Vacha Mushati Srunotu Sri Vagdevyai Namaha Om Bhadrangarne Bhishrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pasyemakshbharyajatraha Stirairangaistuštuvagum sastanubhihi Vyasema devahitam yadayuhu Swasti na indro vruddhashravaha Swasti na pusha vishvavedaha Swasti na starkshyo arishthanemihi Swasti no bruhaspatir dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Shanno Mitrashyam Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Om Agne Naya Supatharaye Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmajjuhurana Meno Bhuishtante Namavuktim Vidhema Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Over to Aparna ji. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Raghav ji. That was naturally a very great start to the program. This special program is part of the ongoing Waves 2024 webinar series that is third in a row, initiated by World Association for Vedic Studies USA. Waves USA and Waves India have established a reputation for providing scholarly forums to facilitate productive discussion and research. We realize that Vedic culture needs a revival to lead humanity to a brighter future. On that note, I would now like to welcome everyone who is attending and our distinguished guests present today in the program. Before we start the program, let's recall some of the memorable moments of our International India Conference held in the year 2022. Hope you all remember that these were the colorful flyers or the announcement of the program with which all of you got connected with us during the Waves 2022 conference. That is the 15th International and 26th India Conference of Waves. And this is the conference organizing committee, along with the conference coordinators, Honorable Shri Shashi Kejriwal ji and Professor Shashi Tiwari Madam were the conference coordinators, and we were all associated in some of the projects during the program, that is the conference. And this was the souvenir abstract booklet, which were given to all of you through the online medium and which was edited by all three of us, Professor Shashi Tiwari ma'am, by me, and Dr. Kamna Vimal Sharma ji during that time. And the topic was the same as we have the same topic of the book today. And these were the special moments of the Waves 2022 conference. These were our honorable guests present during the inaugural or the valedictory sessions or the important panel discussion sessions. So we are highly grateful to them. And this is again the moment, the glimpse of all of us who all were present during the conference and actively participated in the conference and make it a grand success during that time. Thank you everyone for being associated in the year 2022. This is quite amazing to look back with this brief slideshow. Now is the time to experience Wave's journey over the years through its Kulgeet, which is a musical composition of celebration, endless dedication, and synergy of purpose.
पुराणों स्मृति ग्रंथों में निहित अमूल्य सार हम जाने, तत्व ज्ञान ही बोध हमारा, वेदाध्ययन है लक्ष्य हमारा। दशकों से है वेव्स दे रहा अवसर चर्चा का, चिंतन का।
दशकों से है वेव्स दे रहा अवसर चर्चा का, चिंतन का।
एक मंच पर सबको लाना ध्येय रहा हर सम्मेलन का, वैश्विक हित कर्तव्य हमारा, अध्ययन है लक्ष्य हमारा।
हितं भरा प्रज्ञा से युत हूँ, हितं भरा प्रज्ञा से युत हूँ, भ्रमजालों से दूर बचे हम।
स्वस्थि भाव पूरित जीवन हो, अनृत मार्ग से दूर रहे हम, चिदानंद गंतव्य हमारा, वेदाध्ययन
Thank you. I like to inform you all the program is being simultaneously live streamed on Wave's Twitter and YouTube sites. And also, this chat is enabled for you all to share your views, ideas, suggestions, or anything you like to share here through in this program. Today this is very special and pleasant moment for all of us to be here together for the book release and panel discussion program. The book title and the topic of discussion is Innovative Applications of Vedic Knowledge in Modern Times. This whole event is being presided by Honorable Shri Dhirendra A. Shahji. He is board member Waves International, and he is associated with Waves since it was launched in the year 1996. I invite him and welcome Shri Shahji for the welcome address of today's program.
Namaste. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome our chief guest, Professor Ramesh Bhardwaj, Shri Shashi Kejriwal, President of Waves International, Professor Sashi Tiwari, President of Waves India, Professor Balram Singh, distinguished panelists, Waves 2022 papers presenters, and all attending today's Waves 2022 proceeding book presentation and panel discussion. Though in today's world, internet and AI, most people prefer to read academic research online. But there are still many readers who prefer to read books for their own convenience and keeping them in their libraries for future references. Waves International and Waves India have so far successfully printed proceeding books for most of the previous conferences, and they intend to continue this tradition for future conferences also. Our distinguished Waves India President, Professor Sashi Tiwari, has spent considerable amount of her time and energy in editing and getting the proceeding book printed. We are grateful to her and would like to express our sincere thanks for her dedication and devotion to the cause of the Vedic culture and parampara. I also like to thank and appreciate Aparnaji for helping Sashiji in finalizing the proceeding book. I would now like to thank all the panelists who have distinguished themselves in the study of Vedic literature, philosophy, Bharat's ancient history, Ityas, which has been so far distorted and presented in the most negative manner for a long time. And it is still being taught in the most prestigious universities like Harvard, Stanford, and Chicago. I appreciate and thank to the presenters of 2022 conference for their contribution to the Vedic research. I especially like to thank the young school and college students from USA who have shown interest in Vedic culture and history. We sincerely hope that more young people from India and USA and other countries will participate in our future conferences. In order to keep our rich Vedic scriptures and Ityas and traditions, we need to make special efforts to motivate young people by creating awareness about our ancient culture and Vedic knowledge. I'm also of opinion that the basic knowledge of the ancient Vedic dharma and culture in simplified manner should reach at every village level so as to preserve our traditions and culture from generation to generation. My friends, once again, I like to take this opportunity to thank you all and welcome you all. And we hope that the success of this conference will be great. And many, many thanks to Dr. Shashi Tiwari for giving me this opportunity to welcome you this morning. Thank you and all the best.
And that was very brief and crisp by by Shri Shahji, and we expect more words from you, sir, because you have been always the main synergy behind this whole program and even all the activities of the Waves through the Waves International platform. As we have Professor Shashi Tiwari here in Waves India, and there since the 1996, since the beginning, you are associated with Waves, and because of you only, this Waves International is in this position right now. And so we are very much thankful to you, sir, and for your kind words. And now it's time to invite for the introduction of the book, it's time to invite Dr. Shashi Tiwari ji, the President Waves India, the recipient of President Award, and the chief editor of this volume. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aparna. Namaste and Abhivadan, Abhinandan to all present here in this special program of book release and panel discussion. आवाज ठीक है?
जी.
Respected chairman of the session, Shri Dhirendra Shah ji, Director Waves International, और जैसा कि अभी अभी उन्होंने बोला है और इतना संक्षेप में बोला, लेकिन वो वेव्स इंटरनेशनल के स्तंभ हैं ऐसा मैं मानती हूँ, क्योंकि पहले दिन से वो इसके साथ जुड़े हुए हैं और हमेशा इसको गाइड करते रहते हैं, तो उनके लिए मैं विशेष अभिनंदन करती हूँ. Eminent Sanskrit scholar, our honorable chief guest, Professor Ramesh Bhardwaj ji, Vice Chancellor of Maharshi Valmiki Sanskrit University, Haryana. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के लोग जानते हैं प्रोफेसर भरद्वाज जी को, वो उनके गुरु जी हैं और कितने सरल, सौम्य और विद्वान हैं, ये हम सब उनको पहचानते हैं. और इस प्रोग्राम के लिए भी आपने बहुत सहर्ष और सरलता से मेरी प्रार्थना स्वीकार की, इसके लिए वेव्स उनका आभारी रहेगा. Respected Shri Kejriwal ji, Presided Waves International, and most distinguished panelists and audience. I am here to give a brief introduction of the book to be released. It is a matter of pride for me that both waves are jointly involved in this academic venture. As is said in the Gita, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram e vidite. There is nothing in the world which is more sublime and pure than the knowledge. Hence, the practicality of Vedic traditions and understanding of unique Indian knowledge systems are significant for the researchers. Waves is a recognized worldwide association which encourages innovative multidisciplinary scholarship related to Vedas and ancient knowledge. As an internationally acclaimed learning organization, Waves has established a long reputation for providing forums for research and productive discussions. The associations are trying to popularize Vedic view and the understanding of Vedic concept. After conferences, we try to publish and research-oriented papers after thorough editing. Till date, 15 such volumes are published, 6 by World Association for Vedic Studies and 9 by Wider Association for Vedic Studies. Present volume is based on the International Conference of Waves 2022, which was jointly organized under the banner of both waves. Its theme was Innovative Application of Vedic Knowledge in Today's World. This is the name of the book also. Therefore, this publication tried to reveal the innovative power of Vedic rishis in the perspective of our present civilization, our present society. The mission of the waves is to encourage, support young generation with the twofold vision, Western and Eastern. We are happy to note that few papers from young students were presented and we include them in the proceedings also. This volume consists of 50 selected papers of Waves 2022, which are written in English, Hindi or Sanskrit. These papers are edited and formatted by the editors and are divided into 8 sections on the basis of their main subject. Among authors of these papers, we have Vedic scholars, scientists, philosophers, and Sanskritists. Professor Nicholas Kazanas from Greece, Dr. Aleh Perzashkevich from Belarus, Dr. Koenraad Elst from Belgium are overseas delegates. Professor Balram Singh, Professor Narayan M. Koenraad, Dr. Raj Vedam, Dr. Sitaram Ayangari, and Professor Madan Lal Goyal are few contributors from USA. Their papers are published in the volume. Among national scholars, Dr. Anirban Chakrabarti, Dr. K.C. Sharmaji from Kashmir, Professor A.R. Tripathi from Lucknow, Brigadier J.S. Rajpurohit from Jaipur, Professor R.S. Kaushal from Delhi, Professor Rupa Bhatte from Rajasthan or somewhere in India, Professor Somavasu from Calcutta, Dr. Raghav Bodhipalli from Bangalore, and Anand Gatwar also are few of the distinguished scholars whose papers are published in this volume. This special volume is blessed by the appropriate foreword written by Shri Kejriwal ji, President Waves International, and a very suitable preface written by Shri Dhirendra Shah ji, Director Waves International. I, with other editors of the volume, appreciate the support of all the authors for their effort in maintaining quality of research. Thanks are also for the publisher, Dr. Radhe Shyam Shukla ji, for bringing out this beautiful volume on time. We express our sincere gratitude for the scholars who accepted our invitation, very first invitation of conference in 2022. सम्मेलन से प्रकाशन तक की यात्रा तभी संभव है जब आप सम्मेलनों में आए और पेपर अच्छे लिखे और फिर वो पेपर पुस्तकों में स्थान प्राप्त करें. I hope this publication will be well received by the scholars, researchers, because of its literary value both in India and abroad. Iti Sham. Namaskar.
Thank you, Professor Tiwari, madam. And that was your words were always are really inspiring for us, for giving us so much energy and positivity to work more and look forward to such more great works. Thank you very much. And as you have told us or informed us all that this book is dedicated to the learning of Vedic knowledge with various scholars and researchers who have written thought-provoking papers. And we hope that this publication will ignite the reader's thirst for knowledge. So now it's time to actually, for the moment for which we all were waiting so long, that is the book release function. So for this, I would like to invite and greet our honorable chief guest, Professor Ramesh C. Bhardwaj ji. He is Vice Chancellor, Maharshi Valmiki Sanskrit University, Haryana, former head of the Sanskrit Department, Delhi University, and also a long time association with Waves, because I have seen him in all the Waves programs since I was in the university time. So I welcome you, sir, and request you to kindly release the book.
Om. Respected office bearers of the Waves India and International.
पहले release, aparna पहले release करो.
जी, it's being released now.
ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वैर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्.
We are happy that this video is being created by Dr. Vikas Sharma ji. He's assistant professor Waves. He's assistant professor in Allahabad University and associated as secretary in Waves Tarun Taran. And here is the book. Madam. And we expect more and more readers and contributors should buy this book, this volume. This is quite a thick volume. and in which specifically Professor Tiwari ma'am has given her 1 year, and along with us, we just associated as the editor only, but she is the chief editor. And this volume, please, I request all the readers, all the contributors. We have all the contributors on the screen now, and some of them have already purchased this book. So this is here. Yes. Thank you very much.
Well, this is a great moment for those who are not only devoted to the Vedic knowledge, but they are practitioners. We heard from our teachers in very young age that there are two kinds of people. First, who are scholars. They can debate. They can deliver some lectures. They will explain each and every word of any thought. But second category is more important for the society. That is, who are practitioners of some thought. Waves is such organization which is run by practitioners of Vedic ideas, Vedic knowledge. So on this occasion, when this great book, where so many research articles, selected articles, are collected in this volume, this work could be done because hundreds of WAVES members who are practitioners of Vedic knowledge are associated with this organization. Well, in last 60 years, I heard from my teachers that there are three specific specialties of this Vedic knowledge. वो कहा करते थे कि भारतीय ज्ञान विज्ञान, Indian knowledge system based upon Vedic knowledge has these three specialties. उनकी टर्म्स थी कि हमारा ऋषियों का वैदिक ज्ञान सार्वकालिक है, इटर्नल. Vedic knowledge is the eternal knowledge. Second term they were using for this, eternal, sarvakalik. Second, sarvabhaumik, universal. This knowledge is not for a village of India or for India or for the whole globe or world. No. For the welfare of or well-being of this universe. Therefore, this is universal, Sarvabhaum. Third, this Vedic knowledge is Sarvagrahi, because it is eternal and universal. Therefore, it's a Sarvagrahi. Each and every individual or society can adopt these views, Vedic views, Vedic knowledge system. And always I remember the words of Mahatma Gandhi when he wrote his first book, Hind Swaraj. In the preliminary pages of the Hind Swaraj, Gandhiji said that Hindu Sabhyata, Hindu civilization, which is based upon the Vedic traditions, is such which can make welfare of the whole world. And this is the duty of Indian citizens or scholars or Vedic practitioners to protect this Vedic tradition. Not only protection, but make it in such presentation in its applications by practicing in their own life. And when Indians are able to present its applications, then whole world will be benefited in the future. तो मुझे तो ऐसा ही लगता है कि वेव्स इंटरनेशनल के जो फाउंडर्स हैं, इस संस्था को चलाने वाले जो अमेरिका में रहने वाले या भारत में रहने वाले लोगों ने एक आंदोलन इसको बनाया है। ये एक एनजीओ नहीं है, ये कोई एक एकेडमिक बॉडी नहीं है, ये ऐसा एक लोगों का संगठन है जो इसको एक मूवमेंट बनाता है। और जैसा कि अपर्णा जी ने भी कहा और मेरी टीचर प्रोफेसर श्री तिवारी जी ने भी कहा, मैडम ने, मिस्टर शाह ने भी इस बात को कहा कि वेव्स का उद्देश्य इस वैदिक ट्रेडिशन की जो एप्लीकेशन है, जिससे आज की मतलब केवल इंडियन सोसाइटी की बात नहीं है, जो मिस्टर शाह ने कहा, वो यूनिवर्सल अप्रोच वाली एक दृष्टि है कि हमको इसकी जो प्रेजेंट एज में जिस तरह के इश्यूज, क्योंकि भारतीय चिंतन परंपरा का, इंडियन थॉट की दो बड़ी विशेषताएं हैं। पहली तो ये कि ये जो भारतीय चिंतन है, इसका मूल वेद है, चाहे वो हमारी फिलोसॉफिकल ट्रेडिशंस हो, चाहे सोशल ट्रेडिशंस हो, चाहे पॉलिटिकल ट्रेडिशंस हो, चाहे हमारी ह्यूमैनिटीज के सब्जेक्ट्स हो, चाहे सोशल साइंसेज हो, चाहे साइंसेज हो, चाहे टेक्नोलॉजीज हो, उन सब के मूल में हमारे वैदिक ऋषियों की दृष्टि है। और वो जो चिंतन परंपरा है, जिसका मूल वेद है, उसने पिछले हजारों लाखों सालों में मानव समाज को और भारतीय समाज को समय की आवश्यकता, हम लोग कहते हैं कंटेम्परेरी सिचुएशंस में, बिना मूल को खोए, विदाउट लूजिंग इट्स रूट्स, उसको एप्लीकेशंस में कैसे लाना है, वो काम हमारे ऋषियों ने, हमारे आचार्यों ने किया। जब हम कहते हैं हमारी ऋषि परंपरा है, तो ऋषि परंपरा का मतलब भी यही है कि वो गत्यर्थक, जो इस ऋषि शब्द का अर्थ है, हमेशा के लिए प्रवाहमान, बिना किसी ब्रेक के इस विचारधारा ने पिछले हजारों लाखों सालों में समय समय की जो परिस्थितियां थी उनके अनुकूल एक दृष्टि को दिया है। ये जो प्रेजेंट वॉल्यूम है जिसमें 50 के करीब स्कॉलर्स ने अपने रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स प्रस्तुत किए हैं और जिन्होंने मॉडर्न एज के लिए जो हमारी चुनौतियां हैं, चैलेंजेस हैं, जहां पर आज आदमी के लिए जीना बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है, जहां सृष्टि के साथ सामंजस्य रखते हुए इकोलॉजिकल पर्यावरणीय स्थितियों को हम बिगड़ते हुए देख रहे हैं, जो हमारे समाज के नैतिक उत्थान की ओर जिसकी दृष्टि नहीं जाती है, उन सब विषयों को लेकर रिसर्चर्स ने अपने आर्टिकल्स के थ्रू इस वॉल्यूम को समृद्ध बनाया है। और अभी भी जो वर्ल्ड कॉन्फ्रेंस अमेरिका में कॉल की है उसको भी मैंने देखा, और ये काम जैसा मैंने शुरू में भी कहा कि ये काम स्कॉलर्स उसको सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, मगर जो प्रैक्टिशनर्स हैं, क्योंकि विचार वही होता है जो जीवन में कोई उतारता है, उपदेश करने से या उसको व्याख्यान करने से लोग उसको अडॉप्ट नहीं करते। तो ये जो हमारा वैदिक ज्ञान है, जो सार्वभौम भी है, सार्वकालिक भी है और सर्वग्राही भी है, इस विचार को, क्योंकि मुझे याद है कि एक बार महेश योगी जी से किसी ने पूछा कि आपका आंदोलन अमेरिका में क्यों सफल हुआ है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि जो आज की पश्चिमी दृष्टि है वो हर चीज को प्रामाणिकता में देखता है, उसके वैज्ञानिक पक्षों को देखता है। क्योंकि वेव्स के अंदर जो लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, चाहे वो बलराम जी हों या और जो प्रोफेसर्स हैं, जो साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी के बड़े बड़े प्रोफेसर्स हैं अमेरिका में या यूरोप में या भारत में, वो लोग अपनी साइंटिफिक अप्रोच के साथ, क्योंकि किसी भी रिसर्च में या किसी भी प्रेजेंटेशन में जरूरी होती है कि आपकी मेथोडोलॉजी क्या है, तो उनकी जो साइंटिफिक मेथोडोलॉजी है उस पर कस के, उस पर पूरा एक्सपेरिमेंट करके जब वैदिक विचारों को समाज के सामने, दुनिया के सामने पेश किया जाता है तो उसकी सर्वग्राहीता बनती है, लोग उसे अडॉप्ट करते हैं, एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, उसके लिए रिसेप्टिव बनते हैं। तो महेश योगी जी ने यही कहा कि विदेशी लोगों ने हमारे योग दर्शन को या हमारे भारतीय दर्शन को लैब्स में अपने शरीरों के ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करके जब उन्होंने उसको प्रामाणिकता से उनके लिए उपयोगी उन्होंने पाया, तो लोगों ने उसको अडॉप्ट किया। लोगों को रिसेप्टिव बनाने के लिए ये जो एक शब्द आपने बुक में टाइटल में यूज किया है, एप्लीकेशन, क्योंकि हमारी दृष्टि में तो आदर्श और व्यवहार, इन दो शब्दों में कोई फर्क नहीं है। दोनों चीजें एक सिक्के के दो पहलू हैं। जो चीज आदर्श है वही व्यवहार हो सकती है, और जो व्यवहार में आएगा आदर्श, वो तर्क की, प्रामाणिकता की कसौटी पे कसा जाने के बाद ही उसे समाज स्वीकार करेगा। मैं इस वॉल्यूम के संपादकों को बहुत अभिनंदन देना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि ये तो हमने बहुत पढ़ लिया, पढ़ा लिया कि साइंस क्या कहता है और ये वेद में क्या लिखा हुआ है, मगर जब तक उसकी एप्लीकेशंस को लेकर हम समाज के सामने एक नई दृष्टि का प्रचार प्रसार या प्रस्तुतिकरण नहीं करेंगे, लोगों को उसके लिए रिसेप्टिव नहीं बनाएंगे, तब तक लोग उसे अडॉप्ट नहीं करेंगे। इन कंट्रीब्यूटर्स में हमारे बेलारूस वाले प्रोफेसर जो हिस्ट्री के हैं वो भी हैं, हमारे अच्छे मित्र हैं। हम उनके साथ जो है एक बार रशिया भी गए थे। हमने एक रशियन स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में ICCR का सेमिनार किया था। इन दैट सेमिनार ऑल्सो the scholar of Indian history from Belarus, Professor, presented his paper also. He had also joined us in the Indore Kumbh conference also. So there are so many occasions when we have got this great opportunity to understand his views. And his presence always show that South Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Eastern Europe, they are all Vedic areas from where we can get our roots. So I think by publishing this book, the whole world, especially scholars of Indology, will be not only happy, they will get a vision by reading these articles that which kind of research society needs. So, on the behalf of Sanskrit world or Indology, we are all very thankful to Waves, Professor Kejriwal, Professor Balram Singh, and my teacher, Professor Sashi ji. Aparna is doing well. I remember in 2015, in a conference at the University of Delhi, I have appreciated her some research articles which she had written on Atharvaveda, social institutions. So, Madam Sashi Tiwari has very good team of young scholars, Ranjit ji and others. A new generation. If I'm a teacher, if I'm a scholar, no value. But if I'm able to train some young scholars in that direction, which is needed by the society or by the world, that is the great work. And Waves is able to provide such dais for young scholars to present their researches as per the requirement of the modern times. This is the great work which should be followed by other scholars of the Vedic studies. In the last, I'm very thankful to Waves and its organization that they have given me a chance to join you all in this great academic anusthan. My presence shows that I am with such innovative activities, and I request my all friends and students also to work in this direction. Thank you very much.
सर थैंक यू वेरी मच, क्योंकि आपने जैसा कहा ये एकेडमिक अनुष्ठान है और इस अनुष्ठान में आपके हमें आशीर्वचन मिले और आपने हमारे इस प्रयास को जो इस किताब के माध्यम से हमने यहाँ प्रस्तुत किया है उसको आपने सराहा। हम आपकी बहुत बहुत कृतज्ञता आपके प्रति व्यक्त करते हैं। और साथ ही सर आपने जो बातें कही अपने उद्बोधन में कि जो हमें हमारे वैदिक आचार्य रहे या जो हमारे दूसरे भी संस्कृत लिटरेचर के जो आचार्य रहे, उन्होंने जिन को हमारे सामने लिटरेचर में या वांग्मय के थ्रू प्रस्तुत किया है, उन बातों को एप्लीकेशन के थ्रू हम मॉडर्न टाइम्स में जिस तरह लेकर आते हैं, ये हम सबका ये बहुत बड़ा रिसर्च का क्षेत्र बन जाता है जो कि हमें वेव्स प्रदान करता है। तो हम आपकी इस दृष्टि के लिए भी हम आपका धन्यवाद करते हैं सर। जी। अब वक्त हो चला है हमारे ये अभी तक का जो हमारा कार्यक्रम था वो था बुक रिलीज का कार्यक्रम, जिसमें हमने इनोवेटिव एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ वैदिक नॉलेज फॉर मॉडर्न टाइम्स इस किताब को वेव्स 2022 के पब्लिकेशन को हमने रिलीज किया, विधिवत रिलीज किया आप सबके सामने। और अब समय हो चला है इस कार्यक्रम के भाग 2 पर, और मैं उसके लिए आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी ब्रिगेडियर जीवन राजपुरोहित जी को, डॉक्टर JS राजपुरोहित जी को। और आप हमारे ऑनरेबल वाइस प्रेसिडेंट हैं वेव्स इंडिया में, और साथ ही सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि आप डिफेंस ऑफिसर हैं, आप ब्रिगेडियर हैं, आप सालों से भारत को अपने स्ट्रेंथ से, इंटेलिजेंस से, हर तरह से आप भारत के लिए समर्पित रहे हैं। तो ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि हम आपके साथ वेव्स में जुड़े हैं। तो सर आप आमंत्रित हैं पैनल डिस्कशन को आगे ले जाने के लिए। वी वेलकम यू सर।
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद। पहले तो मैं आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं मुझे बुलाने के लिए, बातचीत करने के लिए, और ये मेरा मौका है जबकि वेव्स की तरफ से मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। आई इनवाइट, वेलकम एंड अप्रिशिएट प्रेजेंस ऑफ one and all. It's indeed a privilege, and we can't have better rishis of modern times than the august scholars present in this forum. It is really an indeed it's a wonderful occasion wherein the existing generation is inviting and teaching the next generation is a guru shishya parampara. I'm reminded of what Professor Ramesh said. वाइस चांसलर साहब ने बड़े सादगी से एक बहुत सिंपल सी बात कही, आपने गौर किया होगा। उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो ऋषि परंपरा है, वेद का मूल है, ऋषि का भारतीय चिंतन है, इसकी परंपरा का गाथा है कर्म और गुरु शिष्य की परंपरा। और उन्होंने बहुत धीरे से बोला कि मेरी गुरु रही है प्रोफेसर शशि जी। आप देखिए उन्होंने एक लाइन में 4 जनरेशन को जोड़ दिया। इससे बड़ी ऋषि परंपरा और क्या हो सकती है? इतने बड़े ज्ञाता होकर के भी इतनी सरलता पाना, ज्ञान दान इस तरह से बांटना, चूंकि अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आप सभी का ज्वाइन करने के लिए। इस पैनल डिस्कशन में मैं आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं। प्रोफेसर रमेश सर, एक और बात कह दूं कि यहाँ जितने भी वक्ता बातचीत करने वाले आए हैं, हम सिर्फ बात करने वाले वक्ता नहीं है। वी आर ऑल प्रैक्टिशनर्स ऑफ आर भारतीय चिंतन, प्रैक्टिशनर्स ऑफ कर्मा एंड प्रैक्टिशनर्स ऑफ इंडियन थॉट, इंडियन फिलॉसफी, इंडियन सोसाइटी। और मैं इस बात में बहुत गौरव महसूस करता हूं कि एक सैनिक होने के नाते इस प्रैक्टिस को हमने सीमाओं पर बहुत नजदीकी से देखा है, जहां जिंदगी और मौत एक गोली की तार पर लटकती है। एक गलत निर्णय और आप किसी की जान ले लेंगे। एक गलत निर्णय कि आपने गोली फायर नहीं की, आप कई जाने खो देंगे। तो ये निर्णय जो प्रैक्टिशनर कर सकता है, एक गुरु कर सकता है, एक सामाजिक कार्यकर्ता कर सकता है, इससे बड़ी और कोई बात नहीं हो सकती। और तथ्य यह है कि इसी विषय को लेके, कर्म के विषय को लेके जो धीरेन्द्र शाह जी ने बोला, रमेश सर ने बोला, इसी को लेकर के मेरा चैप्टर इस किताब में है। इट जस्ट I think it is coincidental that the 3 thoughts are coinciding into one direction. And what is this? This is the same Indian thought, भारतीय चिंतन। यही तो है ऋषि परंपरा, यही तो है गुरु शिष्य की परंपरा। तो आइए बात करते हैं इसी इसी परंपरा को लेकर के आगे चलते हैं। मेरे पास बहुत ही श्रेष्ठ लोग हैं, स्कॉलर्स हैं, जो कि आज की इस शाम में हमारे साथ शामिल होंगे। और मैं चाहूंगा कि हमारे पास और जितने भी स्कॉलर्स हाजिर हैं, मुझे अगर मौका मिला तो मैं उन सभी को इनवाइट करूंगा। और चूंकि समय सीमित है और मेरे पास हर स्कॉलर के पास जो ज्ञान भंडार है उसको लेकर के इकट्ठा करके इस 45 मिनट में शेयर कर देना is quite a tedious task. So all that I shall do is I shall humbly request each of our panelists to limit themselves to their thoughts for about 5 minutes. Our President, Shri Shashi Kejriwal is en route. We shall wait for him. Meanwhile, we'll continue. The moment we get connected, he's online, we will have him online. Otherwise, I have his message. I shall share that message with you all. So with due permission from Professor Shashi ji, President Madam, अगर आपकी इजाजत हो तो मैं कार्य शुरू करूं। पैनलिस्ट को इनवाइट करना शुरू करता हूं। जी धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद। हाँ
मैम आप
आपकी
म्यूट
आवाज
हैं।
नहीं आ रही है।
ब्रिगेडियर साहब, मैं आपको धन्यवाद। और मैं ये कह रही थी कि पैनलिस्टों को देख लीजिए अटेंडेंस जैसा कुछ कि कितने
जी
लोग हैं, फिर
जी
औरों को भी इनवाइट कर सकते हैं।
जी हाँ जी, हमारे पास काफी पैनलिस्ट मौजूद हैं और शशि केजरीवाल जी का इंतजार कर रहे हैं। अपर्णा जी, जैसे ही वो आ जाएं आप मुझे इंगित कर दीजिएगा, और अगर वो नहीं आते तो मैसेज हमारे पास है।
सर हम एक
और
ऑन स्क्रीन सभी पैनलिस्ट को देखना चाहेंगे आप जब इनवाइट करेंगे
तो आप ठीक है, मैं आपके टेक्निकल व्यूज की तरफ जाऊंगा। मैं नाम लेता हूं, सभी का बता देता हूं और एक एक करके इनवाइट करता जाऊंगा। हमारे साथ में प्रेसिडेंट वेव्स यूएसए श्री केजरीवाल जी होंगे। डॉक्टर आलेह, historian from Belarus, he's a scholar and author, and you can actually see the gems of Vedic wisdom, the book by him on his screen. How can more elaboration of Sanatan Dharma spreading across the globe is visible on screen? Thank you, Dr. Aleh, and it was wonderful talking to you yesterday. Thank you so much for your wonderful thoughts. We have Dr. Raj Verma, who will be speaking on philosophy, her subject, her passion. We have Professor Balram Singh, who is the director of Waves at USA. He is also the CEO and the owner of INEDS. Sir, आप हमारे मॉडर्न ऋषि के रूप हैं। अमेरिका में रह करके जहां अंग्रेजी और बाकी सभी भाषाओं के अंदर ज्ञान का संचार और प्रवास रहता है, वहां आप भारतीय परंपरा को चला रहे हैं, और जितनी दिशाओं में चला रहे हैं, मेरे ख्याल से 10 दिशाओं के नाम कम पड़ते हैं इसके लिए। द काइंड ऑफ फील्ड्स दैट यू हैव चोजन, they emanate right from your core chemistry to all other forms of philosophy, society, technology, and what not. Hats off to you, sir. Salute to you for your glorious time that you're contributing to this society. And I'm sure your scholars like Dr. Aparna and others, we all look at you as the modern Rishi, a Rishi thought that can actually glow the humanity of modern times, the contemporary times, the context of the entire book by Professor Shashi ji on application, and that to innovative application. And that's your core. Innovation, research, creation is what you have. So we have Professor Balram. We can't have better scholars in this August audience. Then we have Dr. Koenraad Elst. I'm his ardent follower on, sir, I wonder if you know, I'm your ardent follower on Twitter. And जिस तरह से आप सनातन धर्म की बात करते हैं, बिल्कुल लॉजिक से बात करते हैं, तथ्य को पेश करके बात करते हैं, very few historians and authors and Sanatan Dharmis followers would actually do it. And I don't know if very many of you know, he's a scholar from Banaras Hindu University. So that's though a PhD from Leuven, and that too on Indian philosophy, Indian Hinduism thoughts, and a scholarship from studies from BHU makes him a gem integration of the Western thought aligned with the Indian philosophy, and we can't have a better scholar, sir. It was indeed privileged meeting you couple of years. I wonder if you recollect, I was a young brigadier that time, and the knowledge and wisdom that flew out of you was tremendous. We owe so much to you that you have gone beyond the caste, creed, religion, ABCD, etc., and you've risen to the level of humanity and spiritualism to bring about the best in the society. Thank you so much for joining. We shall be honored to have you on the screen, sir. Then we have okay, I see Dr. Raj Sinha. Welcome. आपसे आज बात करके बहुत अच्छा लगा, and I look forward with all other attendees on your wisdom and your chapter in the on philosophy in the book. We look forward to your contribution, madam. प्रोफेसर कौशल जी हैं यहाँ पर, वो हमारे पुराने वक्ता है। सर पहले तो थोड़ा सा कैमरे को ठीक कीजिए, आपका सिर्फ चेहरा आ रहा है, हमको पूरे कौशल साहब चाहिए। यस, ये बात हुई ना। तो कौशल साहब अपने आप में ज्ञान का भंडार है, एंड अगेन प्रोफेसर बलराम की तरह आप भी फिजिसिस्ट हैं, एक फिजिक्स के ज्ञाता और साइंटिस्ट हैं। तो एक जब साइंटिस्ट अपनी दृष्टि से सनातन को देखता है, हिंदुइज्म को देखता है, भारतीयता को देखता है, तो वो समान रूप से उठ करके एक वेद ऋषि और ऋषि के लेवल पे चला जाता है। अब ऋषियों के लेवल आपको मालूम है, ऋषि, महर्षि और वो सब, तो आप अपने आप को कैटेगराइज कर ले। मैं बहुत छोटा सैनिक हूं इन सबको कैटेगराइज करने के लिए, पर आपका स्वागत है कौशल सर। एंड आपके जो थॉट्स हैं ऑन scientific wisdom towards Sanatan, we shall be honored to listen to you on those subjects, sir. Then we have Rinika. Rinika, are you there? Rinika is a young scholar, the youth author from America. Heartiest congratulations, Rinika. You and your brand of young energy, we're looking toward this violent blood that is ready to bring in the peace in this world. Violence की कमी नहीं है, शांति की कमी है। आप देखिए इजराइल और हमास जिस तरह से लड़ रहे हैं, रूस और यूक्रेन जिस तरह से लड़ रहे हैं, क्या शांति की गुंजाइश नहीं है? So we look towards young bloods like you who can look for peace in the world, who would be our torch bearers in the times to come, to continue to focus on how to maintain peace. Remember नीति शास्त्र, चाणक्य का नीति शास्त्र, साम दाम भेद और दंड। अरे दंड तो सबसे अंतिम बात है, यहां तो सबसे पहले मार्केट में तलवार लिए चलता है हर कोई। तो आप लोगों की दृष्टि जब इस तरफ आएगी, आप लोग जब ग्रेजुएट होंगे, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट होंगे, आप जब इस समाज को चलाने लगेंगे, तब यह आपकी दृष्टि समाज को शांति प्रदान करेगी, समाज को प्रोग्रेस प्रदान करेगी। और जो धीरेन्द्र शाह जी ने बोला, जो प्रोफेसर रमेश ने बोला कि इसको अप्लाई कैसे करना है, शांति कैसे लानी है, ग्रोथ कैसे लानी है, प्रमोशन कैसे करना है इस ह्यूमनिज्म का, that lies on your grand shoulders, Rinika. We look forward to your young and bright ideas. Heartiest welcome to you and your entire team. Thank you so much. Then we have Dr. Mousumi. She is from Department of Sanskrit, Kolkata. Heartiest welcome, madam. We look forward to your views. Your views on Sanatan. We look forward to your views on innovative applications, and it will be honored to listen to you. And I am your host, panelist, moderator for the evening. So I'll like to glide through. I'll need your support all along. Primarily, since the number of scholars is more and the time is limited, so I'll humbly request all of you to very clearly restrict yourself to 5 minutes. In addition, we have large number of other scholars. भास्कर भट्टाचार्य जी अभी किसी इमरजेंसी की वजह से गए हैं, लेकिन हमारे पास प्रोफेसर नारायण कॉमरेथ हैं फ्रॉम यूएस, प्रोफेसर सोमा बासु हैं, आशा जी हैं, राघव जी हैं, डॉक्टर राघव। स्कॉलर्स की मेरे पास लिस्ट की एंडलेस है। तो गिवन द टाइम एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी आई विल इनवाइट अदर्स। और चरण सर, in case you are there, I would request you to talk about Rita in times to come. Vijay Sagar sir, given a time, I'll invite you. So depending on time frame, we'll work it out. And so let's begin. Dr. Aparna, what news is Shashi Kejriwal ji online or
Not yet, sir.
not yet? So, would you like to convey his message, or I should take on?
Sir, I can read, or we
Okay.
can take in between when you will allow.
अगर वो आ जाते हैं तो ठीक है, अदरवाइज आप उनका मैसेज पढ़ दो प्लीज.
ठीक. So अभी पढ़ दूं सर पहले?
Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead. So, in
Okay.
place of Shashi Kejriwal ji, if he joins, fine. Otherwise, his message is there with us, and I'll request Dr. Aparna to kindly read the message. Any explanation required, I shall add on. Please go ahead.
Ji, Kejriwal sir said that it was an all virtual conference and Waves got the technical expertise to conduct a virtual conference since we did a virtual conference twice in a row now. This expertise will help us in our 2024 conference, which even though isn't an in-person conference, but we may have some content talks via remote mode. We also had a good concentration of young presenters, as he called youth presenters, and hope to grow that in our future conferences. We also hope to do better in getting more international participation in our Waves 2024 conference. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Aparna. So, what he essentially said is, we have graduated from. Yeah, anyone? Okay. So, what essentially he said is, one is that we have graduated from merely physical to a technology based virtual conferences. We have gained more expertise, and we look towards the 2024 conference in America. It is in Orlando, and where Disney World is. He's invited everyone. So, all of us who have given their papers, extremely good. Otherwise, please make an abstract, please write a paper, share it with us, and we'll see that you get the ticket to Orlando for the 2024 conference. And youth, he's again spoken. Rinika is there on behalf of others, and we look forward to involving more of Indian youth, more of American youth. And we have Professor Koenraad and Dr. Aleh and others across the globe. And we encourage scholars, young scholars especially, through your good hands to join us in this noble cause. जो इस अनुष्ठान की बात प्रोफेसर रमेश ने की, उस अनुष्ठान को हमने आगे बढ़ाना है, उसकी बात को लेके आगे चलते हैं. And that's from Professor Kejriwal. And after that, I should invite the next speaker. Yeah. Okay. So, Dr. Aleh, may I humbly invite you to talk about your paper in the book and other words of wisdom that you would like to share with us. The stage is over to you, sir. 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. I think you can hear me now. So, and
Yes.
you can see me now. And greetings to everyone who can hear me. And I'm extremely glad to have this privilege to talk during this panel. As soon as my paper is on the Vedic laboratory as a universal thing with the universal effect, I would like to say that somehow we are here to demonstrate that those ideas are still active. Because when what I was writing about during that paper doing was that every priest there did his own work, his own job. It was a particular job to reach the common aim, general thing, and the joint efforts brought the effect they expected from the joint activity. I mean, the sacrifice was given to the direction with a general purpose to get some benefit from it, or to prove that the people who were doing that went the right way. Here we can say that everybody of us seems to be like that priest, those priests. Everybody collects its own knowledge, its own experience, its own even worldview. And then when we are doing this Vedic researches, or within the conferences, within the books like you propose now, we are sharing these things. And one thing is, it's not just sharing, but very similar to what the priests did, well, millennia ago, what is written there in the paper. We are not only co-working, but we are combining and creating the complex project, the complex product, and the complex effect with doing our personal experience, with doing our personal skill, or using our personal skills, and then join them all together in one piece and one combined project, one combined result that gives us the Vedic knowledge, the preservation of Vedic knowledge, the spreading of Vedic knowledges, and then the accumulating of Vedic knowledges also. And this is very similar to what was in the Vedic tradition when we are talking about the Vedic ritual. So somehow, altogether now here, we are doing the same thing. We are creating the Vedic ritual of collecting knowledges, accumulating knowledges, collecting skills, accumulating skills, collecting experience, joining everything together and creating the joint product, which is one. And this book, let me say this book is one of the results, visible results, the physical results of this joint project, when you can see the personal effort from one hand and the common effort, general effect, the mutual effect for everybody. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, sir. That's absolutely brief. You've been more brief than actually what I said. But thank you so much for your views. We would look forward for another opportunity to listen to you for a longer period. And for the time being, sir, thank you so much. And I now invite Dr. Raj. Dr. Raj Verma, the stage is over to you. Look forward to your words of wisdom, please. Unmute yourself. Raj, please unmute yourself.
Okay, sir, thank you. I would, respected organizers, respected chairman, sir of the session, Professor Sashi, respected Sashi Tiwari ma'am, respected Professor Sashi Kejriwal ji, Honorable Chief Guest Professor Bhardwaj ji, and Brigadier Raj Purohit ji, and esteemed scholars and guests, researchers. It is a moment of great joy for all of us, and I would like to point out some of the things. Like, for example, I would like to congratulate all of us who are here because a lot of effort has gone into making of and editing of this book by the scholars and by the editorial board under the stewardship of Professor Sashi Tiwari ma'am. And you also, meticulous effort has been put by the editorial board to incorporate, diacritical marks, because they are very essential for conveying the right, meaning and the text to the audience, to the readers. So, and apart from that, today I will briefly talk about the papers in the second section, that is, the study of philosophical concepts. In fact, there are 6 scholarly papers written by esteemed scholars. Thanks to the insight and wisdom of the editors, they are all logically related and coherent. The paper of the Vedic corpus, paper on the Vedic corpus, talks about the misconceptions about the Vedic philosophy. For example, hasty generalizations of it as spiritual, religious in very narrow sense, and puts forward the concept of Rita, and less emphasis on the question of ethical. This is the allegation and all. And some scholars also feel that, and that part can be answered by, as it is said, that many of our great philosophers have taken the part of praxis, where that thing has been addressed. And if you the paper says that this paper will come as the Uttar Paksh of the Puru Paksh, which are the allegations. But I see that all the papers which are there in the section are like a kind of answer to the Vedic philosophy is dealing with so many other topics, rather than simply, one or the two things. Obviously, searching for the ultimate meaning of life, we cannot live without that. But beyond that, also Vedic philosophy has been concerned with so many other important issues, and philosophical concepts has done justice to that thing. The paper on the relevance of Vedic views on creation talks, for example, of Purush Sukh and Nasadiya Sukh, and analyzes the Vedic view of creation. Now, can we equate single point mass of Big Bang with Asat or non-being? These questions are there. Is there a convergence or are there parallels? Then the paper on time and eternity takes an analytical approach towards the concept of time or Kal. It talks about the eternality of time, and we are faced with the conceptual questions about time. Is it eternal? Is it a process, as Kumaril says? Or is it simply a part of our subjective constitution, as Kant says? The paper, Brahma's body is language, refers to how Brahma created Vak, got fascinated and wanted to marry her. If we look closely, Brahman is equated with pure knowledge, and knowledge seeks expression. This is the marriage of knowledge and language. Why marriage pollutes in this case? Because I think it attempts to express the inexpressible. The paper Self-Inquiry and Pursuit of Happiness analyzes the concept of self and stresses the need to move away from dualistic mind-body dichotomy towards self as Anand. The idea of Sushupti gives that non-dual self. And the last paper, Vedanta and Resurgence of Indian Life, brings the concept of self and other together as expressed in Vivekananda's philosophy. Seeing the infinite in oneself and seeing the same infinite in others, that is divine love. And you know what? The paper on language talks about the aham prem, or the divine love. This is how you know. That's why that Narad says that I know the Veda, but I do not know the Brahman. But this divine love, that only relates, and that is the part of the spirituality. And when Vivekananda talks about the Dhirendra Narayan, he is bringing the praxis into it. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raj. The misconceptions of Vedic knowledge and considering time as eternal, knowledge plus language brings the inexpressible is a wonderful way of your expression through your paper. Thank you so much. And I'm sure all of us will learn through the time itself. All right. Thank you so much. And let me now invite our Honorable Professor Balram Singh on his innovative talk on scholarship. Sir, the stage is over to you, sir. Thank you so much for honoring all of us.
Thank you so much, Brigadier Saab. It's so difficult to disagree with the Brigadier because you're always, know the title. You always worry about it. So, but you said time is limited. But I'm so glad that Dr. Raj Sinha just contradicted you, saying that time is eternal. So I guess time is the only thing we have, and we have it for free. I know that sometimes our efforts may be limited, and I think that you said it very emphatically that we should continue to make efforts in every possible way. And I think coming that from a military officer makes sense. The title of this book is fantastic, innovative. It's an innovative application of Vedic knowledge, and I like that. And those are some of us, including the chief editor of this book, Professor Sasi Tiwari, knows that many times I disagree because I'm too innovative to sometimes to Vedic ideas. And but he's been very kind to teach me things. And Aparna and others, I see here, Dr. Kamna Sharma also, they are all really involved, and they have been teaching me one way or the other, sometimes by requesting me to speak on something that may be uncomfortable, and sometimes giving me some guidance. So I'm very grateful to this whole community of World Association of Vedic Studies, or WAVES, since I started my journey with them in 2000, year 2000, when I attended one of their conferences in New Jersey, Stevens Institute of Technology. And after that, and there I also, believe it or not, I differed with Professor Bhudev Sharma. And but then they like my difference. Sometimes, there is some attraction in when you have a contrast. So they liked it so much that they proposed that we hold the next conference in University of Massachusetts, and I became their servant to try to promote that. With all that background, I think the position that I have taken over a period of time, and I think there was a discussion about this language and time. I think Dr. Raj Sharma just mentioned time and language. You have to marry. People have very different understanding of marrying. They're just similar to, they have very different understanding of love. The love is something that, especially in the Western world, they fall in love. Normally, people, in India, if you really are in love ka matlab hota atmiyata, you become same. Then it's love, and then you rise in it. You don't fall in it. The Vedic concept of love is very different than the current concept of love, where people, a good friend of mine, Jeffrey Armstrong, tells me the love word comes from love, means greed. So we have to be always aware of it, the language. Over a period of time, we have differences, we forget things. So it's a good idea to have this innovative application of Vedic knowledge, where we are allowed to make these adjustments, where we can talk about the time, and there's really सीमित time है, लेकिन किसी कार्य के लिए. If you don't कार्य नहीं करे, असीमित time, कोई हमारे पास कोई सीमा ही नहीं है. उसी तरह से तो हमने ये सोचा कि आज की लैंग्वेज जो है, डॉक्टर सिन्हा, आज की जो लैंग्वेज है वो साइंस की लैंग्वेज हो गई. There was a time in the Sanskrit, and still is time for Sanskrit. I tend to believe that Sanskrit is science. And but then my Sanskrit teachers and friends, they differ. They say Sanskrit cannot be changed. It was written by Panini, and whatever Vyakaran has been written once, it cannot be changed. And I somehow disagree with them. So we will try to resolve that in next 50 years or so. Whether science Sanskrit is a science. I just want to declare that my innovation in Sanskrit itself is a science. And since science always keeps changing, innovation happens. So this is a wonderful title of the book that we can continue. I know that some of my previous panelists took less time, so I'm sorry I took a little bit longer time, but I want to say just a couple of words about the chapter that I have in this book, and which is to have a science, Ayurveda as a technology, and yoga as a science. So I have just translated them differently. And then we create a new kind of knowledge system, but the knowledge system has to be in such a way that it creates a world order. I think Brigadier Raj Purohit will like that, a new world order. Because unless you create some kind of order, things don't move. So you have to create a world order which has yoga, which has been quite popular now. Ayurveda is becoming popular, and this kind of brings out the Vedic knowledge in a very practical way. And hopefully that construct will allow us to speak to the world in a language that they will understand, and may be able to bring the Vedic knowledge in a very emphatic way, as Brigadier Jeevan Raj Purohit said. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Grateful for your kind words and wisdom. And once again, the eternal time today is limited. And thank you so much for bearing with us. The session must finish by 9:15 so that we do the closing in. May I now humbly invite Professor Koenraad. He has number of books to his credit, as historian, Sanatan follower and preacher, actually, who practices the same. Sir, we are all eager to listen to you. Over to you,
Right.
sir.
In this August company, I don't have much to add to the contents. However, I do have something interesting to relate. So we are here to celebrate the launching of an important book. You know, the launching of a book is like a birth, is like a springtime, is like a morning, like a dawn. And so it is only fitting that we invoke the dawn goddess Usha. Now, not through any merit of my own, I happen to come straight from a celebration of Usha, or as she is called in our part of the world, Ostara. Ostara is a word related to a word you all know, Easter. So Easter is originally a spring festival that when the Christians came, they appropriated this feast and turned it into their own celebration of the rising of Christ. Now, the background is this. I am a Druhyu, that is one of the 5 peoples that form the ethnic horizon of the Vedic rishis. So you have the Pauravas, who are the Vedic people, the Anavas, the Druhyus, and some more. Now, long ago, we came all the way to Europe, and some of us, of course, sometimes go back. When I come to India, and some fellow asks me what I come to do there, I say, well, I am a Druhyu. I come to visit my ancestors. So, okay, now what did they do? Like the Vedic people, like the Proto-Iranian or Anava people, they practiced fire sacrifice. And so this fell into disuse with Christianization. Now, in the post-Christian age, it is coming back. And so right now, today, we have celebrated Ostara in a society in Antwerp called Lohengrin, which is named after the Swan Knight. There's a story around him that you will recognize. Namely, he's marrying the ancestors of the Duchess of Brabant, which is my part of the world. And she has to promise him never to ask his name. Then one day she asks his name, he explains, but then he leaves forever. Anyway, so that's what the thing is called. And so they organize this every year. And it's complete with a procession, a parikrama around the sacred fire. The fire is surrounded with three ribbons, so to speak, in white, red, and black, just like a Vedic fire altar is. And this is not something recently borrowed. No, you see, from ancient manuscripts, we know that this is how it was done. Then something is poured into the fire. In our case, mainly mead, which is a honey drink, but it's the same principle as soma for the Vedic rishis. And so this is just 2 hours ago. I just came home. And so I still feel a little bit well empowered by the blessings of Goddess Ostara, or as you call her, Usha. So abhi मैं आपको उषा देवी का आशीर्वाद दे सकता हूँ. My blessings to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I hope this Usha festival, Ostara or Easter, has been a truly blessing to all of you. And may this spread not only your part of the world, but to the entire globe wherever the humanity is. And whether it is Ostara, Easter, Usha, or the spring season, or our festivals of the year, ultimate aim is that man as a species must remain happy forever and ensure that all around him, living and non-living, are as happy. That is what Purusha, Prakriti, and everyone said. And what you are saying is adding on to it. Thank you so much for illuminating the entire gathering here. Let me go to the next author. Koenraad sir, thank you so much once again. And may I now invite Professor Kaushal for his views, logical, scientific views on the Vedic knowledge system.
I thank Professor Tiwari and Professor Brigadier Raj Purohit ji for giving me this opportunity and selecting me for the panel as one of the panelists. I was the first person to receive the book from the publisher, and I have gone through almost half a dozen papers during last 2-3 days, and I have been attending this activity for the last, I think, 15 years now, or 12 years. In the beginning, there was emphasis on the glorification aspect of Vedic wisdom. But I noticed that this is the first time I could see something which is going to survive for decades in terms of the actual applications of the wisdom, Vedic wisdom. And spectrum is very wide. I don't want to go into the details. And Madam Tiwari ji ने जो माला बनाई है, उसमें एक मोती मेरा भी है. मेरा मोती अपने में ही एक किताब है, 400 पेज के राइटअप है. मैंने एक नया सब्जेक्ट प्रपोज किया है, वैदिक साइको साइंस. Subject has been developed on the lines of modern physics. Its subject should be taught in the classroom in the same way as we teach the modern physics or physics, chemistry, or any science subject. So this is about 400 pages write-up, and the subject title is Vedic Psychoscience. Psychoscience stands somewhere in between the spiritual science and the behavioral science. Now, as far as the development of subject is concerned, I have freely used the physical theories, of course, with some analogies. To this, I have developed the subject of psychochemistry, psychophysics. Psychophysics was started about 150 years ago by a French psychologist. Subject somehow is not alive in psychology department, but I have given the new shape to the subject in new incarnation, and it is going to open new vistas of the Vedic wisdom. Then psychochemistry, when more than, I think I should read better to save that time. About 30 years ago, I translated the wisdom of Srimad Bhagavad Gita into a philosophical atom type model, termed as Platonic model. And this model is analogy with the perfect provides perfect mechanism of a functional human being. Working of this model with reference to the behavior and experiences of an individual is investigated under the head of psychophysics. Psychophysics, then when more than one person come together, two or more than two, then psychochemistry is developed, or human interactions are investigated at the most fundamental level in terms of some exchange of tanmatras. So we can understand the very, very intricate behavior of human interactions or details of human interactions. For example, the law of love has been evolved, about which Professor Balram Singh was talking. A lot of things have been said. And then the subject of psychochemistry is developed. Psychochemistry, again, the interactions between the persons arise at different levels of understanding. Then noting the fact that space and time are the creations of consciousness, and treating the trio of space, time, and consciousness on the same footing. Normally, we neglect the consciousness. When we are studying the physical processes, consciousness is not taken into account, except for the modern physics, for quantum physics, where we account for the consciousness, or trying to account at the cost of probability theory. But now here explicitly we can account for this rather variable. So techniques have been developed. Subject of psychomechanics has been developed. Grouping of essences of life in the form of gross, micro, and causal existences, including the constituents, mind, intellect, and ego, when transcribed in the human intents of Carl Jung. Carl Jung gave in 1919, Carl Jung gave the theory of personality, or on the cognitive science. So Carl Jung theory remains incomplete without the incorporation of Vedic wisdom. This is what I emphasized about 25 pages write-up. Then Carl Jung actually, what was missing? We can develop the emotional quotient, intelligence quotient. Spiritual content was missing in his theory. So I have modified the theory to provide the spiritual content in the theory of Jung. So theory is taught in the classroom in modern classes. Chapter is there on consciousness studies, physics of the attention dominated matter waves and energies are investigated. Concept of mind wave has been given to understand the phenomenon of occult sciences, many occult, so-called healing therapy or rather. Actually, there are two popular books these days, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, which has given the new birth for the economic sciences. Similarly, another book is there, Joseph Murphy, Power of Subconscious Mind. So they talk in air. If we have the Vedic wisdom with us, we can give the foundation to these so-called empirical studies. So that kind of things have been done regarding religion. Professor Purohit was expecting something from me. I have given the scientific basis for the Sanatan Dharma. We talk of conservation laws in physics. Conservation with respect to time we normally study. Conservation could be of any concept. Conservation could be of a system of concepts, sequence of concepts. So in Vedic wisdom, there's so many concepts which are eternal, universal, omnipresent. For example, take the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, theory of anger, how to control, man of perfection. Second, last part of the second chapter, that concept is evergreen. Whether the person had that sequence of intents, sequence of events in the past to today, गुस्सा आता है, गुस्सा से वो होता है, उससे वो sequence. So this is the Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma, Karmakand, Upasana and Gyan. Karmakand keeps on changing with time and space. Upasana methodology also keeps on time, but at a slow pace as compared to the Karmakand. But it is the knowledge part of Vedic wisdom that has been eternal, universal and evergreen. So that part I have borrowed from physical theory. In physics, we talk about conservation laws, dynamical invariants, integrability concept. Same ideas I have found some examples in Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, and pinpointed these are the basics of Vedic wisdom, which form the so-called Sanatan Dharma. Irrespective of any cult, all these things have been said in a scientific spirit, and I think I've taken 5 minutes, or you want me to
Yes, sir.
more?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. And this book is going to be, I think, meant for the graduate and postgraduate studies, and with a basics in some elementary knowledge in physics and chemistry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the elaboration on the concept of psycho-science, psychophysics, psychochemistry, and all that we had was कि chemistry ठीक होनी चाहिए तो हीरो हीरोइन ठीक चलेंगे तो फिल्म अच्छी बनेगी.
Exactly.
अगर वो फिल्म अच्छी चलनी है तो उसके पीछे का काम अच्छा होना चाहिए. And that पीछे का काम is nothing but सनातन. अगर वो ठीक नहीं है तो बाकी स्टोरी ठीक से नहीं चलेगी. और जैसा कि वो मेरा नाम जोकर में वो नहीं कहता था कि ये पूरा विश्व एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, एक ये नाटक है और हम सब एक्टर्स हैं, और अगर हमने अच्छा परफॉर्म करना है तो हमारी केमिस्ट्री अच्छी होनी चाहिए, हमारे रिलेशंस अच्छे होने चाहिए. एन एंटायर थिंग कम्स फ्रॉम व्हाट यू सेड, स्पेस एंड टाइम. You further dwelled into quantum physics. I wonder if a lot of us really understood. We will find more time to interact with you and understand more of it, sir. Thank you so much, Professor Kaushal. Grateful to you. I now move on to the young blood. Rinika, heartiest welcome. We look forward to your wonderful views. Be open, be very, very imaginative in whatever you say. So whatever you say is for the next generation, your friends and others. Right? So talk the way you would talk to your friends and your youngsters. Go ahead. We are all waiting to listen to you.
Okay, namaste. My name is Rinika Bansal. So I was asked to speak about what it was like to write my paper. So I had actually written a research paper about the 9 gems or ministers in King Akbar's court, and detailing the history of courts and ministers with a specific focus on King Akbar and his 9 gems in court. And so I was supposed to talk about like my experience and how I felt writing the paper and giving my presentation. And so I was just going to talk about one of the things that was tough for me. And so it was tough to gather information, and I struggled with that because the time period of King Akbar is in the late 1500s, and there's no scholar or adult that I could reach out to who could like educate me on this topic. For example, if I had chosen a topic regarding the Bhagavad Gita or the paths and aspects of yoga, then I could have had a broader field of research, and I could have also reached out to others for help, and I could have found insight in the different point of views and opinions that people may have. This also means that the main resources that I was able to find was in books and websites, and Sashi helped me a lot in this process, so a big thank you to him. But in the early stages of processing a rough draft, every resource I found repeated the same information, or had very vague information, or it was just inaccurate information. It was really hard to find like material I could rely on and be able to publish it into a paper. And I did have a pretty short research paper, but that did inspire me to write. That inspired me for this year's abstract and this year's topic, because I decided to choose a topic regarding the Bhagavad Gita and what it truly means, and how Sri Krishna, okay, hold on, what it really tells us, and what we do that is not in line with the Gita. Like, what was Sri Krishna really detailing for Arjun? How can we apply this in our day-to-day lives? And what main points should we and can we take away from the Bhagavad Gita? I think that is something I really want to learn about, and it's something that's very important for us. But overall, the experience of writing a paper was great. It was unique. It was a unique experience, and I'm so happy that I was able to be a part of the WAVES conference and contribute. This truly helped me with not only my research skills, but I'm now very interested in learning about the Vedas and growing my Vedic knowledge. I have to give a big thank you to Sashi, and I'm proud to say that I did create and publish a paper. And I'm so thankful to Waves for giving me that opportunity and giving me the chance to speak today. Thank you to everyone for listening and inviting me to be here today. I can't wait to participate in this year's upcoming conference. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, Rinika. And the way you've been able to, in couple of minutes, give out your thoughts in a very concrete and very focused manner, shows that you have the inner ability, inner potential to grow yourself into a great scholar. It doesn't really matter what field you choose, but whichever you choose, whether it is Gita or Vedas or any other aspect of our ancient scriptures, and Indian knowledge system is full of them. I specialize in Arthashastra. And you can really go into any of these topics for years together. So all the very best. And what I really liked is, you should look into, and this is for other scholars as well, that in America, dharmic capitalism is coming up in a big way. Capitalism has started from the West and it's spread around. The supply and demand issue and the entire the concept of building for self has never been an Indian concept. It has been welfare of all the people, and therefore the dharmic capitalism has started in America, wherein you say you grow the capitalism, but is it dharmic? Is it based on dharma shastras? Is the dharma working there? And then is the karma working there? So when you see all these things together, you find a purpose to your life, a way to enjoy life the way you would really like to enjoy. So all the very best to you and all your friends, and your paper has been wonderfully received, and thank you so much. You've been awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dear Dr. Mousumi, we're waiting for you, and she's all the way from Kolkata speaking to us, and we're eager to listen to you, madam. The stage is all yours. Unmute yourself.
I extend my heartiest gratitude to Waves International for giving me the opportunity to speak in presence of some eminent scholars. The whole world faces coronavirus problem, and recently water crisis is the burning issue. We all know the recent news of Cape Town, South Africa. The injured ecosystem, I must say, the injured ecosystem and environment is the most important issue which motivates the scientists and environmentalists to think about it. The human being is the part of the nature in the Vedic concept of environment. We need the fresh air and water resources for maintaining our ecosystem. In this context, we find a famous Atharvan mantra where Rishi Atharva made an appeal for drinking water. Shangno Devi Ravishtaya Apu Bhavantu Pitaya. Here, water is eulogized as medicine. According to Rishi, the water has its own potential to heal the disease. For this reason, healing power of water preserved in the medicinal plant Somo in Vedic times. Soma Raso or juice was used not only in sacrifice, but to prevent the disease also. That's why the whole 9th chapter is of Rig Veda is dedicated to Somo as divinity. Actually, the Puranic Amritam is Vedic Somo herbs, which provides longevity. Brahmo and Veshaja are synonymous in the context of the Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda is the pioneer of the Vedic medicine and treatment. The various kinds of valuable Veshajas and their power of healing diseases are mentioned here. We find it has been stated we have to disinfect the cultivated food and water resources. Here the term Bisho means environmental pollution. According to Atharva Veda, this pollution of air, water and food is called Tridoshu, which is different from the Ayurvedic Tridoshu. Rishi Atharvan gives importance to the natural components. In this context, Atharvan hymns reads, the humidity of cloudy sky, polluted air, and the excessive heat create disease. We all faces this kind of environment in recent time. It is our duty to restore the environmental entity and keep maintaining the ecosystem for all living beings. Heal the planet Earth and the Mother Earth will heal us. Madhu Vata Ritayati Madhu Sharanti Sindhava Madhvina Santoshadi Madhumat Parthivam Raja. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much, Madam Mousumi. Very kind of you. Time is running through and through, and I think I am done with the time. I am overshooting by 1 minute. So if it is accepted by the President, I'll invite one speaker from our august audience. Professor Narayan, in case you are there, may I humbly request you to take on the stage and share your wisdom with us. Professor Narayan, comrade, are you there, sir?
I think, sir, he's not present now.
Okay.
Yes.
Professor Madan Lal? Are you there, sir? I saw Professor Narayan.
He was there in the beginning.
Charan, sir, are you there?
Yes,
I'm here, Brigadier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very kind, very kind. May I request you your favorite Rita, which is the origin for karma and dharma, in case you'd like to explore any one of them or give anything that you wish to share with us all, sir.
I appreciate. Thanks for inviting. I was not prepared for it, but first of all, thank you, Dr. Tiwari. I had the opportunity to meet her finally, a couple months back or so. Wonderful visit. I must say I was able to spend good about an hour at her place. So thank you. Thank you. We missed you, Dr. Aparna. I know you were on your way to Lucknow, probably. Time was short, but next trip, it's coming very soon. So hopefully I'll get to see you as well. And Dr. Raj Purohit, it's always wonderful to hear your voice. You being the lead and coordinator off and on. I did text it, I think last year a couple times, so that was good as well.
Yes, yes. We interacted and you had shared lovely pictures of your house and area around.
That's right. I'm enjoying it. So thanks for bringing up the topic of Ruta, and I'll spend probably 3-4 minutes. It's good to, what do they say when you're in a public gathering, to stick with the transcript. So I will be in a reading mode, but do stop me on the way if there is any question. Ruta is a favorite topic for me now. I have been exploring it, practicing it, understanding it, observing it, and writing down my observations in general. So it's a fascinating thing that Rishis introduced us. So Ruta, the governing principle of natural order, as Rishi's insight, originated within Rig Veda, which later evolved into one's recognition of how one participates as a part of his or her dharma. We are all very inquisitive about it. In the overall governance of Ruta itself, which may connote select similarities. Quite a few of you are scientists, economists, in arts. I heard some wonderful mention by Dr. Kaushal on thinking fast and slow. Very good example. Thank you. So similarities we see in the contemporary catchphrase, the invisible hand. All of us are aware of it. We talk about unmanifested, manifested. In economics, field of economics, the concept they use is the invisible hand. It's a very narrower context over there. Ruta is very broad. We are all part of Ruta, as they say. So in the governing principle of natural order, or Ruta, now I'm going to exemplify that. A cow's dharma is to give milk, which was intended for the calf, but is stolen using chicanery by others. Thou, cow still performs its dharma and gives milk, per the governing principle of the natural order. Even Vedic gods, Varuna, Surya, and others follow this governing principle and are thus adherents of the Ruta. So it's an observation, nothing fascinating, I'm telling you, but Rishis observed it. They placed it in the right places within Rig Veda for us to benefit from. So then I always ask myself, it is imperative that one may then inquire, what tasks are assigned to me by this invisible hand, or for that matter, what principles govern our actions, which shall sustain us and the framework. The framework has to survive. We have to survive. The framework has to survive within which we operate. In one's day-to-day living, one unconsciously conducts physiological aspects of dharma. And again, Dr. Kaushal and others highlighted that since we are part of the mammalian species, we are equipped with all the needed organs and cells, which performs its intended dharmic activities without us even intervening or interjecting. And then we subsequently proceed with the procreation and perform dharma to sustain the offspring using the natural resources endowed upon us. So I gave you a little bit of a framework over here. Again, I don't want to go through a lot of details, just put select thoughts, pointers for all of us to kind of review this concept. This is a marvelous concept. In the governing principle of natural order, Ruta, dharma expresses itself in its non-transactional act of giving. Just remember, I'm going to emphasize the act of giving. So the implications are dharma is the act of giving. Adharma is forcibly taking something away. Dr. Raj Purohit mentioned about the dharmic economics or capitalism now coming into the Western world because the realization has taken place of centuries of exploitation, of taking things away from the rest of the world. And that, to all of us, per Vedic guidance, is an adharmic activity. So we need to be cognizant. We need to be cognizant of that. So
may I request to conclude, sir?
Yes. So I think the last thing probably I'm going to say is dharma as a functioning principle, primarily which just sustains us for the period, mandating us to fulfill our role as a participant, which may be important to us, but is of no significance to the Ruta. That's the best I can conclude. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this impromptu getting you on board. And this impromptu has been very exploratory and knowledgeable wisdom coming through a modern rishi like you. Thank you, sir. It's been indeed a pleasure. Now I have already overshot the time to 9:26, and there are requests for more scholars to be invited on. So before I say yay or nay, may I look towards the president for her nod or otherwise, and we should be heading towards conclusion. Rishi madam, जैसा आपका आदेश, अनम्यूट करें, अनम्यूट कीजिए मैडम, आप स्वयं को अनम्यूट करें, अभी भी नहीं हुआ, अनम्यूट, मैडम प्लीज अनम्यूट कीजिए।
सर वो ट्राई कर रही है मैम, मेरे को लगता है मैंने यहाँ से उनको भेजिए।
होस्ट को बोलिए ना, होस्ट के तौर पे आप कर सकते हैं।
आदर्श जी, प्लीज लुक इनटू दिस। नहीं यार, आदर्श जी।
I've asked her, but I think she's facing some difficulty.
बॉटम लेफ्ट में दबा दें।
हो गया, इट्स डन।
ओके, अभी बोलिए मैडम।
मैं बोल रही हूँ, धन्यवाद बहुत बहुत। और मेरे को बटन दबाना भी पता है, सब कुछ है, लेकिन वो चल नहीं रहा था।
जी।
सो हम लोग एक एंजॉय कर रहे थे, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, जिसमें बुक प्रेजेंटेशन इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट एंड इन द सेकंड पार्ट इट वाज ए पैनल डिस्कशन। सो बुक तो आप सबको पता ही है कौन सी रिलीज हुई, और उसके आधार पर ही सब विद्वान पैनलिस्ट जो लर्नड स्कॉलर्स, they were presenting their views, especially about their paper and in general about the application of Vedic knowledge. So Vedic knowledge ही सनातन नॉलेज है, शाश्वत नॉलेज है, और उसका एप्लीकेशन बहुत तरह से हो सकते हैं, लेकिन जो देखता है, जो जानता है, वो उसको कैसे सही तरह से अप्लाई करे, उसका व्यवहार करे, प्रयोग करे। ये बात सबसे पहले तो रमेश भारद्वाज जी ने बताई, और बाद में फिर और विद्वानों ने भी इसको बताया। सबने अपने अपने पेपर को बहुत अच्छे से संक्षेप में उसका एसेंस हमारे सामने रखा, और एक चरण मनिक तला जी ने अलग से अपने रितम के बारे में ओपिनियन दिया। सो हम देखते हैं, सभी समझते हैं कि बहुत डीप नॉलेज है वैदिक नॉलेज, उसको समझना ही कठिन है, और समझ के फिर उसको व्यवहार में लाना बहुत कठिन है। वेव्स जो है, दोनों वेव्स मिलकर इस कार्य को कर रहे हैं, और ये प्रोग्राम भी दोनों के द्वारा संयुक्त रूप से किया गया था, और आपने देखा कि एक अच्छी पैनल यहाँ पर पैनलिस्टों की गैदरिंग थी, और उन्होंने सबने, कोई भी एब्सेंट नहीं था, और सबने अपनी अपनी बातों को बहुत अच्छी तरह से रखा। व्यवहार और यथार्थ का समन्वय किया जाना चाहिए। एक डॉक्टर कॉर्नॉल्ड ईस्ट ने कहा कि उषा देवी से आशीर्वाद लेकर मैं आया हूँ, और प्रकाश और रोशनी और स्प्रिंग फीड जैसे जीवन में रहें, तभी हमारा जीवन सार्थक होता है, और ज्ञान और कर्म दोनों उसी दिशा में प्रेरित करते हैं। फिर ब्रिगेडियर राजपुरोहित जी जो समय समय पर अपनी टिप्पणी दे रहे थे, बहुत ही उन्होंने निष्कर्षात्मक रूप से एक वाक्य कहा कि जीवन में हर कोई हैप्पीनेस चाहता है, सुख चाहता है, और यही जीवन का सार तत्व है, इसलिए सब कुछ उसी की दिशा में कार्यरत है। तो अधिक कुछ ना कहते हुए मैं आशा करती हूँ कि आगे भी हम लोग की इसी तरह से वेव्स के प्रकाशन होंगे, और उन प्रकाशनों को लोग पढ़ेंगे और अच्छे से समझेंगे। एक बात मेरी रह गई, जो छोटी बेटी ने यहाँ पर रखी, रनिका ने, उसने ये कहा कि उसको मैटर नहीं मिल रहा था, सही मैटर, एंड देन फाइनली शी आस्क्ड स्कॉलर्स एंड एडल्ट्स जो आसपास उसके थे। तो ये भी एक तरीका है ज्ञान अर्जन करने का, और यंग लोग उसको जानते हैं, बड़ी अच्छी बात है। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं सभी को शुभकामनाएं देते हुए अपनी वाणी को विराम देती हूँ। धन्यवाद।
So with this, we can come to the closing ceremony. On my part, I must thank everyone, Supriya, Aparna, everyone who's been supporting, Adarsh and everyone. And Shashi ji, thank you for your blessings. We could go through the entire program in the most effective manner. And especially our August scholars and panelists who have been outstanding. It was an awesome learning this evening. Over to you, Dr. Aparna.
Thank you, sir. It was naturally as I told in your introduction that you are a defense person. So the program, the whole panel discussion was gone through a very disciplined way, and also in a very full of energy. We all must gain in your particular this session. Part 1 was okay, but part 2 was fabulous. So thank you so much. And also Professor Tiwari ji, thank you, ma'am, for showering your blessings on us through your remarks. And now it's time for the official vote of thanks. But before that, we have just a few minutes. We would like to hear our Dr. Radhesham Shukla ji from Pratibha Prakashan, and he want to say he want to present vote of thanks on behalf of the publishing house.
Thank you, Aparna ji, to giving me this opportunity or vote of thanks. As a publisher of this book, Innovative Applications of Vedic Knowledge in Modern Times, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished individuals who have contributed to this remarkable journey. Their unwavering support and expertise have been invaluable. Allow me to express my sincere thanks to, first of all, Professor Ramesh Chandra Bhardwaj ji, who is my Agraj and Satirth in Delhi University. Now, Professor Sashi Tiwari ji, my Didi, is make a tremendous work to edit, collect and edit this volume. Or my thanks are also Mr. Shashi Kejriwal ji, the editors, Web International, Dr. Aparna Dhir. You all have seen her efforts, and Kamna Bimal Sharma ji, Mr. Dhirendra Shah, the treasurer of WAVES and overall the general secretary of international WAVES, and other scholars and dignitaries of WAVES India and international. इसके अतिरिक्त और सभी भी जितने भी इस लोग इसमें प्रत्यक्ष परोक्ष रूप से सम्मिलित रहे हैं, सभी विद्वानों के प्रति, सभी कर्मियों के प्रति, साथ में हमारी टीम के जो प्रकाशन से संबंधित हमारी टीम है, उसमें जिन लोगों ने प्रत्यक्ष या परोक्ष रूप से अपना योगदान दिया, उनके लिए हमारा हार्दिक धन्यवाद। और अंत में संग संग संगो मनांसि जानताम, इसी भावना के साथ वेव्स की अजस्र धारा वैदिक ज्ञान को प्रसारित करती रहे, प्रवाहित रहे, और हम उसके साथ जुड़े रहें, व्यवहारिक रूप से, आध्यात्मिक रूप से, हर रूप से हम उसके साथ जुड़े रहें। सभी के प्रति सादर शुभकामनाएं, सभी को भूरि भूरि धन्यवाद, नमस्कार
जी। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका डॉक्टर शुक्ला जी। और मैं सभी को यहाँ बताना भी चाहूंगी, और आप सब परिचित भी हैं कि वेव्स के जितने भी पब्लिकेशन हैं सारे डॉक्टर शुक्ला जी के द्वारा ही हमेशा पब्लिश होते हैं। अभी शायद नाम ने नंबर भी बताया था, शायद 15 के करीब हैं। और काफी अब तो ये जो इस बार का वॉल्यूम है इनोवेटिव एप्लीकेशंस वाला, ये तो इंटरनेशनल वॉल्यूम है। इससे पहले भी इंटरनेशनल वॉल्यूम साइंटिफिक नॉलेज एंड एस्पेक्ट्स पे आप निकाल चुके हैं, तो वेव्स आपके प्रति भी ग्रेटफुल है। और नाउ for the official vote of thanks and the concluding vote of thanks by Dr. Kamna Vimal ji. He's one of the editor of the book and also the treasurer of Waves India. We welcome you, Dr. Kamna ji.
Thank you, Aparna ji, for giving me this opportunity. I offer my namaste and good evening to all our esteemed guests and scholars from all around the world who have gathered together with a single objective of spreading the light of Vedic knowledge in all the hearts in the whole world. Today, this occasion has been a double celebration for all of us, as you would all agree. Firstly, it brought forward the fruits of our efforts in the last year in the form of WAVES 2022 proceedings titled Innovative Applications of Vedic Knowledge in Modern Times, edited by Professor Shanti Path ma'am and published by Pratibha Prakashan under the guidance of Dr. Radhesh Shyam Shukla ji. And secondly, this occasion also allowed us another opportunity to listen to all the distinguished speakers and be inspired to devote ourselves to the service of the spreading the Vedic knowledge to the younger generation, to the people around us. My first thanks goes to the organizers of this event, Waves India as well as Waves US, Professor Shashi Tiwari ji and Professor Shri Shashi Kejriwal ji, for organizing this event and allowing us to participate in this occasion. I express my gratitude towards Shri Dhirendra Shah ji for his presidential remarks as well as his guidance and best wishes. I extend my heartfelt gratitude and vote of thanks towards this occasion. Long experiences which he shared with us on how Vedic knowledge can add to our knowledge, knowledge or can enhance the consciousness. I thank all the panelists today, including Shri Shashi Kejriwal ji, who could not be present here, but his words of wisdom have reached us. Dr. Aleh Perzashkevich ji, Dr. Raj Verma Sinha ji, Professor Balram Singh ji, Dr. Koenraad Elst ji, Professor R.S. Kaushal ji, Miss Rinika Bansal ji, Dr. Mousumi Chattopadhyay ji, and Dr. J.S. Rajpurohit ji, and along with him, along with all these, Dr. Charan Manaktala ji. I also extend my gratitude towards all present here who have been a witness to the spread of knowledge through this gathering. To name a few, Professor Anju Seth ji, Professor Narayan ji, Asha ji, Harsha ji, Vinod ji, Chand Bhardwaj ji, Dr. Parashar ji, Jayanti ji, Kalindi ji, Shanta ji, Dharma ji, Hensnath Haridas ji, Krishna Gopal ji, Lanan Prasad ji, Madan Lal ji, Reena ji, Renu Bala ji, Vidyasagar ji, Vadva ji. I thank Dr. Raghav Badupali ji for um, giving this program a very great and pious start by performing traditional Vedic Mangalacharan. I appreciate and thank Dr. Vikas Sharma ji for preparing the impressive unveiling video for the launch of this Waves 2022 proceedings. I thank our technical team, Supriya Chopra ji and Adarsh Anand ji. Both of them have been integral to the program and have supported us throughout the journey. I thank Dr. Radhesham Shukla ji for always being a great support and a constant companion in our quest to spread Vedic knowledge and for bringing out the beautiful Waves 2022 proceedings. With folded hands, I bow before our Patratulya, Professor Shashi Tiwari ma'am. She has been the heart and light of Waves India. She leads from the front to take initiatives and performs in a way that she becomes the role model for all of us. As the chief editor, ma'am has single-handedly worked really hard to make this come true. She taught us, she also praised us, she also scolded us at times. But I could say, and I believe that my team will agree with me, that working with you, ma'am, has been a really learning experience for all of us. For that, I do not have words enough to thank you, but still, I try to express my thanks towards you. I thank Dr. Aparnathir Khandelwal ji for carrying out the first session of the program in a very smooth manner, and I'm a fan of you, fan of yours, G.S. Raj Purohit ji, for the smooth sailing of the second session. You have moderated the session in a very lively and engaging way, and it does not seem to be a panel discussion. It seems like conversation. So for that, I express my gratitude towards you. Again, on behalf of Waves India and Waves USA and the editorial team of Waves 2022 proceedings, I express my heartfelt gratitude towards all present today and all those who have performed, say, any pratyaksha or paroksh role in the preparation of this proceedings, or as well as in the conduct of this program today. Carrying forward this initiative, this year we are going to organize the 16th International and 28th India Conference of Waves in Orlando, US on 13th, 14th, and 15th of September 2024. I would request Adarsh ji to kindly present the banner or the first flyer in front of all, so that, and I also invite all of you to come and participate in the event. Now, may I request you all to kindly switch on to your cameras so that we may capture the memorial moment from today's program. Adarshi, I'd request you to kindly assist me in taking a few good pictures of today's program. As you can see, this is the first flyer for the upcoming Waves conference. It would be international conference co-hosted by wider, World Association for Vedic Studies, US, as well as wider Association for Vedic Studies in Waves India. It would be held in Hindu University of America, HUA, USA. And the dates are 13th to 15th September 2024. And the topic is Prevention, Management, and Resolution of Conflicts in Vedic Traditions. वैदिक परंपरा में टकराव और विवाद का निवारण, प्रबंधन और समाधान. I really hope and I believe that this topic must have initiated or inspired us to convey and contribute to the to providing the solutions to the modern day problems in some way or the other. So I invite you all to participate in this. I hope we have taken some good pictures. So now, concluding the event, I would request you all to join me in the Shanti Path. Ma'am, may I perform the Shanti Path? Can we conclude this?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm starting and you all can join with me. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
May we all be happy and healthy. May all be witness to positive and progressive things in our lives. May light of Vedas illuminate all our lives, heart and souls forever. Thank you all. That's all from my side today. Thank you all and namaste.